Good afternoon. Today I will deal with this PC. Usually I poke with 8-bit or 16-bit computers, but not PCs. But there was a discussion about PC and Amiga sound capabilities, and especially the overhead of the sound. Today the question is, what about the 286? So I choose this 286, Philips made 286 clone. How will it behave if I add some VGA? Because as far as I know, it has an EGA card right now and some sound card. And what will be the performance degradation if I activate this one? Maybe not this one because it has like a few chips, but I have few more. So maybe this one, or in the worst case, this one. So let's open this PC, check it out internally, swap the VGA card. Yeah, here's the VGA card, connect it to the monitor and benchmark it. What I need to do is remove this screw and push here and the other side, and then I can open it. I was very optimistic. It was not that easy to open. I think the reason is simply that it was on the shelf for years, but finally it is open. So what I do have here, this is a 286. There's the CPU. I remove this card, this video card. Of course, we have a PSU, hard drive, 3.5-inch floppy, and on the back side the standard ports. So maybe this one is a VGA, but this is just 8-bit, so never mind, I will replace this one. Serial port. This is a standard DB9 monitor output. So I also need to check the jumpers. Right now, the onboard video card is disabled. Yeah, it has probably 4 times 256K memory, so 1 megabyte. For 286, it is a kind of standard. So let's remove the video card and swap it. While I removed it, I just realized this capacitor already leaked. Looks quite bad, right? But that way, it is easier to see. I'll have problem with the CMOS checksum because this one contains the battery. This is the bad news. The good news is that there is no this water type battery, so it is not leaking, not killing the motherboard. And it has a lot of jumpers. I already checked the documentation. This one is responsible for the bus speed. Here it is possible to disable the video card, the onboard video card. There are a few for memory configuration, if it is visible, yeah. So those are responsible for memory configuration. But otherwise, this motherboard is quite neat. It has onboard floppy disk controller and ID controller. I really like it. So step forward, install the video card, turn it on. If I can set the CMOS and boot it up, then I can install the sound card as well. Keyboard, video, power, and I moved the video card to the lower position. So I'll be able to install here the sound card later on, and let's turn it on. Okay, so the good news, it is beeping, and also I have something on the screen. Okay, CMOS battery checksum error detected. So this is what I see. System clock is 8 MHz, and of course I have the CMOS battery error. That's fine. So let's set it up. But let's check out the CMOS. First of all, I set the hard disk type. This one is correct because it has an ST157A, and this is a 42 megabyte with the proper cylinder head and sector/track. I don't care the date and time. The disk one is also set properly. Okay, then the standard speed is 8 MHz. Turbo speed is 12.5 with one wait state. The machine will boot to this one, so the boot is set to turbo. The normal settings, memory is also fine, so I can go forward. And what is interesting here, it is possible to set normal PC, or I can set it to a terminal server mode. I'm going back to the normal PC and I'll use that way this small machine. So let's try to write and reboot. So F3. Let's go forward. Okay, so it cannot detect the hard drive, so I had to get over it. I was able to boot it up, and let me show you how. So the solution I went for is this CF card adapter. This one is pretty neat. I do not say it is very fast, but at least I can boot the machine. The problem is I have no space, so I have just 2 slots. I need to figure out how can I install here somehow the sound card, because I need the VGA card, I need this device for booting, and I still need one more slot. So what I figured out is what I can do is I had this new old stock and this one, and just replace this one. Okay, so the motherboard is in place, but just the video card is installed. So no floppy, no hard drive, the keyboard. Let's turn it on. Okay, so it's okay, it differs to the previous error. Let's try to set it up and save, and then we'll see. F3. Okay. So still the same error, which means I need to rework this one with some Dremel and put a battery on top of it. Well, it will be not nice, but let's see. I checked out and found a few more of these Dulles chips, and voila, now it is working. I just need to put it together and then install a card. What else? I think that's it. So this is the next step. There can be 2 problems. The first one is I set the hard drive not properly. So I need to check out if there is another matching value for the hard drive. The second one is the DOS is not installed properly, or I have to reinstall it. But I can solve both of the issues. So step by step. Finally, MS-DOS booted up. So it was BIOS setting. I can enter to the BIOS if I press Alt, Control and Insert. Yeah, I'm there. And I had to set for the hard drive type 25, which is this one. What is funny, this one is not reflecting the documentation of the hard drive. It should be, instead of that, this one. But someone chose and formatted the hard drive that way, so I stick to this one. So the next step is check out all the softwares and benchmark programs. I managed to start the copy of files from here to the hard drive. Yeah. So this one is just copying over all the bench directory. Very nice German DOS. So I just need to wait a little bit more. After the copy was finished, I connected the machine to the capture card. So right now you can see the screen full with benchmarks next to each other, and I try to summarize them. It is quite simple because this machine is running on 12.5 MHz, and if I compare it to an 8 MHz AT, it is faster by around 30, 40, 50%. It depends on the benchmark. The machine, CPU-wise, is quite decent. So I do not say this is the fastest 286 because I have a 286 with 25 MHz, but this is what I expected. If I check out the VGA speed, it is not the fastest machine I do have, but again, it is matching what I expected. So it is not bad, not excellent, it is just an average AT. After synthetic benchmarks, let's check it out with a real game. So let's run Wolfenstein 3D. Since I have a Soundblaster clone, I'm changing the settings. So the sound settings will be set to none, audio with adlib compatible part. So the FM synth part will work. And as a last step, I will enable the digital audio output as well. As you can see, the game is running faster without any sound. This is what I expected. The difference is around 7-8%, which is not bad, but still it is pounding the CPU. To be honest, I expected a little bit more, somewhere around 10%, but this is not too far. When the digital sound is not enabled, so just the adlib part, so the FM synthesizer is working, in this case, the result is somewhere in between, almost in the middle. We can say the PCM sound is pounding by 3.5% and the music another 3.5% compared to the no sound to the full sound capabilities. As I'm talking about the PCM sound, one more test is coming into my mind. So let's test this machine with a tracker. If you don't know what is a tracker, let's say that way we have samples like piano or guitar or something else, and these are played back with faster or slower speed, also modulated a bit. That way someone can make really interesting music, especially because you can record everything as a sample, even a door slam or dog barking or whatever you want. I'm starting right now mod file, and then I'll rerun one of the benchmarks. As you can see, the sound playback is really consuming CPU power, so the average speed dropped back to somewhere around 8 MHz AT speed, but it really depends on what kind of module I do playback, because if there are more voices or more frequent changes, then it is of course consuming more CPU power. All in all, my quick conclusion is very simple. I really like to test this 286 PC because it is somewhat comparable to an older Amiga, while CPU-wise it is faster. If we are talking about gaming, I would still choose an Amiga, but this IBM clone is getting close. I'll come back with few games running on this PC soon. I hope you will join that time as well. I wish all of you a good game. Goodbye.